John Bird is here with me, and also we have Lee and Andy and Mickey on the phone. So we do have a quorum present. So we'll, as I said, call the meeting to order. I'll ask that you received a copy of the agenda. We do have one item that I'm going to request that we take off the agenda under new business tonight, and that is the adoption of our zoning map. I would like us all to have a copy of that before we actually vote on it, and so we failed to send one out, so we're going to put that off to next month. If I could get a motion to approve the agenda with that one change. Okay, motion by Lee. Is there a second? Second by Mickey. Okay, any discussion? All in favor? Okay, that's we approve the agenda, and so let's move. Tonight we have no appearances, which is not a surprise given the distancing going on. Eric, you have anything to make, announcements to make tonight?
The only announcement, I don't have the exact date yet, but the Baltimore Farmers Market will return this spring, begin in April, every other Saturday. So we will get those dates posted to the website.
Good. Is it going to be held downtown?
It will be held downtown. It's going to be in City Park. So that courtyard will feel like they've outgrown that courtyard.
And when is it going to start again? In April. Well, that's good. I think it'll be a success. We have so many people visiting downtown now, and on the weekends that it'll be. I think it'll work out well. Let's go ahead and consider the approval of the minutes from our January meeting. You have received those. We did have one change, Karen, from it. In the minutes, it referenced our auditor speaking to us, and he did not attend that meeting. We have postponed that audit report until we can have the council present. So maybe that will be next month, I hope. But could I have a motion to approve the minutes unless you have a change? Okay, motion by Andy, second. Second by Lee. Any discussion? All in favor? I hear one. Everybody approved? Okay. All right, motion's approved. We have one item, old business tonight, and that is concerning our Valley Street right here outside City Hall is to not allow through trucks. We had the first reading in January. This road isn't really designed for the weight of large, heavy trucks, and we're having a good bit of through truck traffic passing through, and so we're going to stop it by prohibiting it. So could I have a motion to approve this as a second reading of that ordinance to designate Valley Street as a no-through street truck route?
So moved.
Okay, motion by Andy. Second. Second by John. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, all opposed? That's unanimous. Is that better? We're moving the microphone to the telephone speaker. What do you think? Let's do it next time. We'll talk about that. The first item under new business tonight is to consider a lease with Georgia Northwestern Railroad. This is for some additional downtown parking. As council knows, we do have a need for more parking downtown. It was interesting that there was a lot there on Valley Street on the east side of Valley that we heard someone was planning to build some houses on it, but it turned out most of the property belongs to the railroad, like so much of the property downtown. So Eric has negotiated a possible lease with the railroad to lease an area that probably will hold 60 or 70 cars. That's our estimate. And for about, what was it, 5607 a year.
Correct.
Annual lease. So we just need to get the council to approve us moving forward on that. And it will be, I think, a well-received additional parking for downtown.
Sir, what we would request is that council approve entering the contract in this dollar amount after final approval by the city attorney. City attorney is going back with Georgia Northeastern's attorney on one other item, just some housekeeping issues, but just to authorize us to enter the contract for the term of 5 years for this dollar amount upon approval by the legal counsel.
Okay, you've heard what Eric has suggested. Ask for a motion to approve entering this agreement for this lease, subject to Darrell's approval, and given the dollar amount that we're reporting. Okay, motion by John. Is there a second?
Second by Lee.
By Lee. Okay, any questions, any discussion? All in favor? Yes.
Exactly where's the,
I'm sorry.
I said, where is the actual location?
It is, you know, where the, it's across valley from our existing parking lot. It runs,
There by
remember
the mall.
the house there, there's a salon there now. Years ago, I think Mr. Brooks lived there, and but the property kind of runs behind that house along the railroad.
Oh, okay.
But it comes all the way up to Valley right there, right across from the entrance to the parking lot that we already have.
Oh, okay.
I'm sorry. I didn't understand you, Andy. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it seems like we got a feedback or something.
Can we, any other comments or questions? Could I call for a vote? All in favor?
Aye. Aye.
Okay, sounds unanimous. Thank you. The next item under new business is we're doing something we haven't done before, and that is we're going to actually offer our chief an employment contract. Chief had been wearing the chief hat since 2013, right? So I said 1913. My gosh, there may be some people in Ball Ground that were here then, but anyway, it's a if you go around the county, around the state, you'll find out that almost 99% of cities have their chiefs under contract, and the recommendation from Eric that we consider that, and it's a 4-year contract. It doesn't have anything to do with, at this point, adjusting salary, or that falls under our normal annual consideration. But Eric, you want to chime in on anything?
Just that the contract was prepared by the city's legal counsel. It's been reviewed by Chief Reeves, and I think we'd be wise to get him under contract.
Well, we, as I said, you've been wearing this hat now for almost 8 years, right? So this will add 4 more years to you. It'll be effective July 1st for the chief or for you?
No, I believe the chief is effective next month.
Okay, April 1st. So it would, again, it kind of puts us,
April.
it kind of puts us in line with all other agencies and cities. And any questions from the council? I was trying to cheat here and look up when you joined the city, because I can't remember. Do you? That's right. Okay. 2005. So you're in your 16th year here. So we have a lot of people on staff here that, and on council, that have put a lot of time into to ball ground and gives us a lot of, I think, advantage of having stability. So, but with this, I'll ask the council to approve the contract. Motion to do so?
So
Motion.
moved by Lee.
Okay, motion by Lee, second? By John?
Second.
Second by Andy. Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, that's unanimous. Congratulations, Chief. You're locked in now for 4 years. Our next item concerns our city manager. Now, unlike our chief, our city manager has had multiple contracts, and his contract is up, and he's asking for a 4-year renewal. That's something that, again, the contract itself has nothing to do with compensation levels or that's handled when we review salaries annually. But this would start July 1st, correct? And it would go through June 30th.
2025.
2025. So how old will we, how old will we be then? We're 4 years older. But Eric has certainly been such an important part of the success of the city, so I don't think we need to even have a discussion other than to approve the contract. Could I have a motion to approve? Motion by John.
Second by Lee.
Second by Lee. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, that's unanimous. Congratulations, Eric.
Thank you.
You're stuck here for 4 more years. Next item on our agenda is a declaration of some surplus property. It's kind of interesting. A lot of our property sometimes is really old that we declare surplus. This particular vehicle isn't quite that old, but it hasn't been functional. So this is it was a police car. It's a 2014 Dodge Charger. As you know, the way we can sell things that we don't use, we have to actually declare it a surplus, and then we usually, will this go on the internet, the website for
Yes, sir, I'll go on
the Gov Deals? And what's the normal time before that?
We usually post it for 3 weeks, so it'll go up next week, and we'll leave it on for 3 weeks.
Okay. Okay, not a lot of discussion here, other than a motion to approve placing this into surplus.
So moved by Lee.
Motion by Lee, second by John. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, that's unanimous, so getting rid of an old police car means you're getting a new one, right? Or you have one. Is it better? It's amazing how long they take.
Those Chargers don't have a very good reputation for police cars.
Well, I think we'll be moving to something that will be more functional and better to use. Next item under new business is the first reading of an amendment to our zoning division. It's Appendix A, Zoning Division 105, supplementary district regulations, Section 105.4, fences and walls. And in a nutshell, we reference fences in our ordinance, but we don't really define what a fence is. So we have some situations where we probably will be working with the marshal to enforce areas that fencing are required, but we want to make sure we make it clear what are acceptable fences. So, Eric, you want to give us any more than that?
No, sir.
Okay. Does everyone understand the requested change in our ordinance? Again, it just defines, other than just saying fence, it actually defines what a fence is. A fence can't be pieces of plastic tied to a post. It actually has to be material that will look better than worse than whatever's being trying to be put behind the fence. So, any comments? If not, could I have a motion to approve this first reading of this amendment?
So moved.
Okay, motion by Andy, there's a second? Second by John. Okay, I'll ask the question again. Do you have any questions or any comments? If not, we'll go ahead and vote on it. All in favor of the motion?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, all opposed? Okay, motion passes. And that will require a second reading. That will be done in our next meeting. As I said, we're going to skip the zoning map requirement. And one of the last items under new business tonight is it's just something we do every year almost, and that is to agree on an intergovernmental agreement between Cherokee County and the City of Ball Ground to allow the county to actually conduct any elections, any city elections. Is there a comment on that, Eric? Anything you want to add?
Just that this is a much more feasible way for us to do elections, and it also gives us the opportunity to have them at arm's length. So it's just a good deal for us to handle it this way.
And this is how we've handled it for years too. So, but this is something we have to do every year to approve an intergovernmental agreement. Could I have a motion to do so?
So moved.
Okay, motion by Andy, second by John. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, okay, that gets that passed. And anything else we need to bring up under new business tonight that we don't have on the agenda? We shouldn't, I guess. But we'll move on at this point now to city manager and his monthly report.
Thank you, sir. We closed the general fund in February with $942,000 cash on hand. Revenue for the month was led by the collection of franchise fees in the amount of $94,185. The draft budgets for 21-22 have been prepared and approved by Mayor Roberts, copied and bound, and will be delivered to council members next week for an anticipated first reading in April. So any questions that anyone has as you're reviewing those documents, please don't hesitate to give me a call. On SPLOST and capital projects, we ended February with $144,000 cash on hand. Revenue for the month was very strong, which represented December sales at $63,632. Expenses came in for the month at $21,561. On our capital projects, Roberts Lake Park, we're happy to announce that our Yellow Book appraisals have been approved by the DNR reviewer. We have submitted all of our closeout documents, I think probably 400 or 500 pages worth. And as soon as that review is complete, we should receive our grant funds in the amount of $100,000. On the Lantern Walk pedestrian crossing, we submitted our funding request to GDOT for assistance in funding a crossing there in the amount of $86,000. GDOT has actually responded and come back that they are going to re-engineer that design for us. I think they can find a crosswalk solution there for less than $15,000 and help us move forward with that project. So that is being handled by the Cartersville office now. On roads and streets, survey work has been complete for the guardrail project at Commerce and Old Canton Road. We expect construction on that to take place midsummer. On paving projects, and this is something I would like to ask council's permission to enter an agreement this evening. Last year, we approved an intergovernmental agreement with Cherokee County for the resurfacing of 1.1 miles of Old Canton Road. Items we were looking for next budget year that are already included in the budget, also in our capital improvement plan, where we have some areas on Northridge Road, Lowry Street, and Densmore Street, where the roots, tree roots, have caused big problems with the pavement. We asked Cherokee County to take a look at them for handling them at the same time they're here with Old Canton Road with all their equipment. They have come back with an offer to change that agreement upon approval by mayor and council, that they will do Northridge Road for $7,065. We have it in our capital improvement plan at $10,000. They will do Lowry Street for $9,838. It's in the capital improvement plan at $15,000. They will do Densmore Street for $9,092, also in the capital improvement plan at $15,000. So this is an opportunity to exercise some savings because the milling machine and heavy equipment that we typically pay mobilization fees for is already on site, engaged in another project. So I'd like to ask council authorization to sign that addendum in the amount of $25,994 with Cherokee County.
Okay, everybody has heard that request from Eric. Certainly, these routes have really made it pretty miserable to drive on these streets for how they have grown up, and it is a good idea to take the opportunity to save money on than to fix this stuff cheaply. So can I have a motion to approve the request by Eric to move forward on these particular 3 street projects? Okay, motion by John, is there a second?
Second by Lee.
By Lee. Any questions or discussion? Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, all opposed? No opposition, so let's get it done, Eric.
Thank you. The next item up is Bartow Paving has the contract with Patriot Rail, also known as Georgia Northeastern, to replace the rail crossing in Tate on Highway 53. They have agreed to waive their mobilization fees, and Georgia Northeastern will also help to come down here and improve the Depot Street crossing. That's an extremely rough crossing that we get a lot of complaints on. Bartow Paving is supposed to visit the site tomorrow and will give us a price. We will bring that back to council for funding to repair that crossing. And again, for folks that may not be aware, rail crossings are kind of at the local government to improve. The railroad has one standard, but roads cross railroads, so they look to us to make those repairs. On our business type activity, we closed the books on February with $880,000 cash on hand, combined funds. The waterline relocation project for A.W. Roberts State Route 372 as of 4 o'clock this morning is 95% complete. All we need to do is test the other systems that we've put in place, do a small system pressure study, and then hopefully take that line out of service by closing 3 valves. It was a unique dig last night. We have found at some point that water line was, we thought that was original 1935. At some point, it had actually been relayed because there's a sidewalk, old sidewalk, deeper than the water line. So we uncovered an old roadway up through there last night. New monitoring equipment has been installed at the Howell Bridge water tank, 372 South Sewer Lift Station, and the Sage Hill Lift Station, and is already paying dividends. We've also updated our development code so that all new sewer lift stations constructed by developers in the city will be required to install this equipment on them initially. The old Howell Bridge water tank has been placed back in service. It was out of service for 5 weeks. We renovated the interior, new epoxy lining, and repainted the exterior. On Parks and Recreation, mulch has been ordered for the playground in Calvin Farmer Park. We've completely rewired the city gym. There's no more fuse boxes and anything else up there that's accessible to the public. Everything is in one good panel box. Phase 2 of the Roberts Lake Trail is currently being laid out. It'll be constructed over the next 18 months using volunteer forces. Won't be any cost to the city there. Public safety, everyone should have a written report from the chief of police. And we're not doing anything this month because we are remote. We want to have everybody back in office, but we'll be taking action in the near future to recognize Officer Young. You know, this is ball ground, and we think a lot of things can't happen. And it was a pretty nasty situation 2 weeks ago. I think it was the first time that one of our officers has actually been shot at. But he did a phenomenal job. Look out for a vehicle for dangerous fugitives from another state. He spotted that vehicle and gave pursuit, and we ended up with, how many counties, Chief, were here involved in that standoff? So, but Officer Young represented the city well, and not only that, he and Chief were at the command center, but every off-duty officer that Ball Ground has came to work and was positioned themselves, Chief positioned at different places around the city, where if those folks did happen to escape from where they were, we had officers at the entrance to Sage Hill and other city interests that were close by. So I think that speaks very highly of our department. We've said repeatedly, we might be small, but we have a high-quality department, and we certainly appreciate them. And that's all my comments for this evening, sir.
Okay, thank you, Eric. And yeah, Matt needs I'm just so glad he didn't get hurt. That's the first information I got that he'd been shot at. That's, so he was very professional in what he did, and that reflects well on us as well. At this point, I'd like to bring up a few things from my time. First thing I want to mention is, as you know, I do the GMA call with other mayors and other city officials every Tuesday. We had a very good program this Tuesday concerning the vaccinations. But the message was that in almost every measurement, Georgia is at the bottom of the ladder. We have the least number, percent of people of our population that are vaccinated or have 1 or 2 vaccinations than any other state. A lot of states have opened up where almost anybody that lives there can get a vaccination. Now, the governor just has opened up people over 55 can now step forward. But the interesting thing is they have on the website, the Department of Health website, they show how many vaccinations by county. Cherokee has the least amount of any county around us. They show the number of cases by county. Cherokee has the most cases than any county around us. I don't know why we can't seem to get in line, but I just want to encourage the council and staff and to encourage people to get those vaccinations. We have, right now, Georgia has 800,000 vials of vaccine in freezers. I mean, they're holding on to them. They're not putting them out for people. So again, I just wanted to pass the message to encourage that the vaccinations will really be the savior of getting us out of this. If we can get a large number of our people vaccinated, then it'll go away as a pandemic. We have not, I'm going to change the subject now to talk about population. We have not yet received a final census count in the 2020 census. There are estimates out there that are, I think, are pretty close to what we'll find out. But right now, it looks like we're probably, Ball Ground's approaching 2,300 people that will get classified as city residents. And we ended 2010 with 1,433. So it looks like we're probably going to have over a 50% increase in our population once the census numbers are finalized, and probably close to 1,000 new residents. I kind of threw that into a calculation to say, well, that's 5% a year, about 5% growth a year. If we did that over the next 10 years, then we'd be looking at probably about 3,500 people. If we do it for another 10 years, we're going to be looking at about 6,000 people. So my guess is that we won't have a predictable same increase year to year, but I think we can expect Ball Ground is experiencing growth now and becoming a go-to, move-to place. So, you've heard me say before, I believe either you're growing or you're dying. So I'm glad we're growing. We don't want to grow too fast. We don't want to grow, but we don't lose our unique sense of place. But it looks like we're probably going to end up with about a 55% increase from the last census. I just want to share that with you. I would like to, I've discussed this with Eric, and I would like to put forth a request by the council to consider us actually pulling right now our Main Street Board and our DDA board are the same people. I would like to put forth a request that we actually split these boards up, and so they kind of do some different things. The Main Street Board is more into marketing. The DDA is more into economic development. And so I'm going to put forth at our next meeting a request to actually make some changes and reactivate both boards. Both boards have been, it's been the same board. It's been, because of the pandemic, we haven't been meeting or doing a whole lot, but it's time to get going again. And I think it will be more effective by putting them into two groups. So I hope you'll support me on that. And last thing I want to say is I want to thank Eric. I tell you, this last year, I've spent more time with Eric than I have in the past. All the years I was in banking all day, my bank, I'm retired now. The pandemic had put us together a lot more. Unlike, pandemic, you think things would slow down. That hasn't happened in Ball Ground. It's sped up. And I'm telling you, I'm amazed at how much he's able to do. We just approved his contract, so he can't leave. But I'm telling you, I've said it before, he does probably the work of 2 or 3 other people that you might find in other cities. And I appreciate that. It's been a challenging year in some ways, but I'm just amazed at how well, and the council knows this, he communicates so well to us, to me, the council, and to the public. So I just want to say thank you.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate that. And I just want to say in return on that, our staff here is second to none, and we are blessed with every person we have. And as we pointed out with the chief earlier, the longevity counts for something. And the mayor and council have been good to this staff, and we appreciate it.
Okay, John, you want to bring anything up tonight?
Nothing particular. Working on some water rate issues with, the development coming in, but.
Okay, did the committee have a chance to meet,
We did the best we could,
kind of by phone?
understanding what they are.
Okay. Well,
Which come up with a plan, we're ready to, submit, next council, ready for a vote.
okay. Well, we don't change rates every year, but it's, right now, it's looking like we're right on the low end in most of the competitors.
Well, it's just the fact that, anything gets built after today is gonna cost us more money.
In,
Along with the water and sewer bill.
in the conversations we've had to date, doesn't impact the rate that any of our residential, single-family residential customers are currently paying. It's looking at new development, which will be on our purchased water system instead of our produced water. And then secondly, we have to address changes in use. For example, we have one structure outside the city limits that's in the county that we serve, and we initially served that as a private residence. And that's now a 100-bed inpatient facility that's still being treated like a private residence. So we're looking at rate changes to address some of those issues.
Okay, let me reach out to Andy. Do you have anything you want to bring up tonight?
No, not really.
Lee?
Well, you know, I always brag on the police department.
Well, I beat
And
you.
I don't have to say anything more since Eric brought it all up. But I'm really proud of what they did, what they always do, but especially that confrontation they had down the road.
Yes.
I was totally impressed and thankful. And that's all I got.
All right, well, thank you. We certainly, I mean, I've said it before, you know, as our department's gotten larger, and we'll continue over time to get to full staffing. I just think we have the best collection of officers around.
I think so.
They know how to deal with our residents very well. I think they like their job. I think, and it just makes me proud. It's, you know, from an elected official perspective, your police department's a big risk to have, but we don't have that because of under the chief's leadership and the quality of our officers. I'm just real happy with how we've kind of evolved in that regard.
I'm with you there.
Let's see, Mickey, you feel like saying anything?
I'm gonna save all my comments till next month.
Okay. Well, we hope you get back to feeling better. We appreciate you joining us tonight. We did not have anybody contacting us asking us to put forth any questions from the public. Do we, Eric?
No, sir, I'm going to check Facebook right quick.
We'll check. Stop for a minute and check Facebook. It's on Facebook Live too. So it's on YouTube, correct?
It's on YouTube, but they put out,
What I intended to do, since we've just recently started doing that, I need to start saying to everybody from around the world, welcome to Ball Ground. We're glad to have you here and to let you enjoy part of what we enjoy. So it's, you know, to me, it's kind of a cutting edge type of communication. And so we're going to get more perfect in it, I promise. But for right now, it's a good way to share what we're doing and talking about, and so this is a new way of sharing our information.
don't have any questions. But
Okay, no questions. Council members, any final comments from any of you?
me.
All right, well, motion to adjourn the meeting?
So moved.
Okay,
Second.
we're adjourned. And we will be doing a Zoom call next week, next Wednesday night, to discuss some issues on our zoning ordinance. So look forward to seeing you, talking to you. Well, we'll see each other. Actually, we'll see each other on camera. So that's at 7 o'clock on Wednesday night. So until then, be safe.
Okay.
Good night.
Good night.
Take care. All right, bye now.